Well, hello and welcome to a new video. As you can see, I already have my face done. I actually just filmed a get ready with me. I will try to remember to put the link to that video down below. And so for this video, we're gonna focus on the eye look. A few weeks ago, I did a video where I was reviewing the reviews on this ultraviolet naked palette from Urban Decay. I cannot say that it's a palette I necessarily enjoyed for many different reasons, which I did explain in that video. Again, I will try to put the link down below. But during that video, I actually saw a few blog posts and whatnot about other people finding a way to enjoy that palette, and I want to make it work for me as well. There was one blog in particular. I do not remember the name, but I will make sure to put that link down below as well. There was one blog where someone mentioned how you could use this shade, Lucid, on top of other shades to bring out more dimension into them. And so as I was scrolling through that blog post, I saw a couple of looks where I will try to put an image here. When you look at the eye look, you don't expect it to have been made with this palette. And so I thought they were interesting and different, and I want to try to do something not similar but inspired by it. And so I'm gonna focus mainly on the more nude side of the palette, and then I will of course use Lucid, most likely on top of digital, to have kind of that duochrome effect. I actually have some duochrome nail polish. I don't know if you can tell. It's kind of purple and then it moves to green. I don't get what kind of sorcery this is. This is from Simply Nailogical's brand Holo Taco. It will be also in the description box down below. So let's just go in. I'm gonna use a primer. I'm using the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. I'm just going to use my fingers. Now, one thing I remember not liking about this palette is the fallout. I already did my face, as I said, and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm gonna use one of these. This isn't necessarily the best option, but it's the least bad option, I guess I would say. Okay, I'm just gonna remove a little bit of the stickiness to not ruin too much my concealer. The thing is, yes, I'm gonna have to go back in with my concealer afterwards, but I'd rather deal with that than deal with a ton of fallout everywhere. So we're just gonna do this. I look crazy. And again, if you hear a lot of noise, it is raining like crazy as usual. Welcome to Belgium. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is to use Mind Slip, and I'm gonna bring it in my crease and a little up. Just to have an overall base. Now gonna use Digital, which is this dark shade that wasn't my favorite to work with, I'm not gonna lie, but we're gonna try to make it work. And I'm gonna put this in my outer corner, and I'm gonna go up a little bit. try to deepen it in here. Same thing on the other side. I'm going to use this little thing right here to remove most of the pigment from my brush and try to blend this in a little bit. Going to use the shade Hacked and kind of bring it in to the middle. I'm not going all the way in, but I'm still going pretty far. I'm taking back my first brush and blending it all together. I'm now gonna go with the shade Dazed, and I'm gonna put it on top of that shade. I'm using my finger because it's just easier that way. I'm not applying too much. And now I'm gonna go in with Lucid and I will apply it on top of that purple shadow. Don't know what way is the best. I'm gonna try with the brush at first. Bring it in a little bit. Try to go upwards a little bit. And you see you have this kind of green duochrome shade that honestly, when you look at this, you wouldn't expect. I feel like I still need to deepen the outer corner a little bit, so I'm going back in with digital. Yeah, I think that's better. I think I'm also going to use VR, which is this gorgeous shade. I'm using it with my fingers. And I just want to bring more dimension to that Dazed shade that we applied earlier. Now I'm definitely going in the inner corner. And I'm also going to bring it out a little bit, just so that the whole thing looks more seamless. Gonna clean up a bit here. Oh, that is gorgeous. Oh, I love this. This is so unusual and not something I would have thought of doing with that eyeshadow palette. Okay, let's remove these. Okay, let me line my eyes. Now on my lower lash line, I'm gonna use this H&M pencil in the shade Spruce Me Up. Which is like a dark green. I'm gonna use the hacked color here to kind of blend this in. I'm gonna use a smaller brush and go back in the shade VR and put this in my inner corner. And on top of that, I'm gonna put the shade Lucid just to see what happens. Magical. Oh, I love this. I'm gonna bring this here a little bit. I'm gonna take whatever's left under my brow bone, but not put too much of it here. Just a touch. There you go. I'm gonna do a quick liner. This is from Sephora. This is the Intense Ink Liner in the shade Satin Forest Green. See, I didn't do like a crazy wing or anything. It's really more to add a bit of color and dimension. Okay. Now on to lashes. And this is the finished eye look. I like it. So am I glad that I gave this palette a second chance and then I tried different ways to make it work? Yes, I am definitely glad. As much as I wasn't a fan of this palette in the beginning, I'm also not the kind of person to give up on makeup. Because I did buy this palette with my money, I want this to work. Sometimes there are products that I really don't like, but I will still push and push and push to try to find a way to make them work for me, because at the end of the day, if I spent money on it, I want to use it. I want to find a way to use it more often. Now, is it my new favorite palette? No, definitely not. It still lacks of matte finishes in my opinion. Typically, I wouldn't bring some shimmery shades that up high. I would mostly use a matte shadow for my crease and for my transition shade, and I would focus the more glittery and shiny eyeshadows on my lid. That being said, I don't hate it. I don't hate it, and it actually forced me to get out of my comfort zone and to try something that I hadn't necessarily done recently. So this is definitely a newly approved palette, which, you know, I didn't like before. I think that now that I've used it differently, I know what I can achieve with it. What I really love about this look in particular is that, like I said, when you watch this palette and then you look at what I have on my eyes, you wouldn't think that these are related, you know what I mean? But that just goes to show the versatility of this palette, because when you focus on the neutrals and then just adding a bunch of like multichrome shimmers, it can really transform a look. Like I said, not enough mattes. I'm still not gonna reach for this palette on a daily basis, but I feel like the shades VR and Lucid in particular are very, very interesting. The other shades all around, I could do without. But yeah, I would be curious to use these two shades in particular on top of another eyeshadow and on top of another look. I feel like this is a nice touch to add if you're going for a matte look and you just want a touch of glitter, or you just want to alter a little bit the color of that matte shadow. I think that these glittery like duochrome things are gorgeous, really gorgeous. So that is it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give this a thumbs up. You can also subscribe to my channel because it's free, so why wouldn't you? And I will see you guys later. Bye.